hi everyone. It's Jan and Ashley coming from Oklahoma City's Be Sew In to bring you New It 2 this week.
Welcome, welcome.
We are so glad you're joining us. We have a really fun topic today. We are going to talk about the long stitch designs that are available in the Radiance. They're also available on the Solaris. So on those two machines. So if you've never played with those, they are a lot of fun. Let me show that to you. So come on over here where you can get a little bit closer, Ashley.
Okay, let's see if we can get where we can see without a glare. Okay, there we go.
All right, so on this particular screen on the Radiance, this number 8 right here, this is the long stitch designs.
Okay.
And when I touch that one, you can see the variety of designs that we have right here.
Oh, those are super cute.
Aren't they super cute? There's all sorts of different ones on here. And you'll notice up here on my, I guess it's a thumbnail. It's just the top half of the screen. So anyway, if I touch like that one, it's going to show me how big it is, the number of colors and color changes and how long it takes. You'll see that on any of those. This one's 14 minutes. Something important to note on these are not changeable in size. They are what they are. So I actually am going to do this one right here. It's super cute. It's this little bunny, like it's like looking at the moon.
Cute.
Isn't that fun? This one's not quite a 4x4. 3 colors, 3 changes, and 5 minutes. So we're going to set that one on there, and we're going to get this one started. I already have my fabric hooped up, and I've got my bobbin thread in, and we're going to put our Dusty Rose on here and thread that one up. So a couple of things that you have to note about this. You know, you cannot change the size. They are what they are. You cannot add to this. You can't edit it in any way. It is what it is. If you want to incorporate this into some other design, I'll show you that there is a way you can do it, but you cannot do it on the screen. It is a one-off thing. So we'll put our presser foot down, hit embroidery, and it also, I don't know if you saw that, it said to make sure that there is enough bobbin thread, because it takes long stitches. So don't start this with a
mostly empty bobbin.
Yeah, I mean, because you'll regret it.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and get that one started. So, and whenever that changes thread, we'll move on. But I want to show you this one that I made. Now, this one's a little bit deceiving because I was like, I don't want it to just be the pineapple on here. The pineapple is the long stitch design. You can see how long these stitches are on here. Okay. If I show you on the back side.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You can see like kind of spider webs in here. So what I did was I put this design on the screen, and then I went into the machine and I did like a stamp of it, so I knew what the shape was.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I went over to IQ Designer, I brought up my shape, and I knew that I wanted to do stitching that went around all of this.
Yeah.
And then I did a box, and I did this fancy box, and I did satin stitches on that. Then I did stippling in here, and I did this fancy fill in here, put some lettering on it when I brought it over to embroidery, and I did all of my exterior part of my design. And then I came back, cleared all that off, put my pineapple on there, and since I had used the stamp feature, it knew where the pineapple needed to go.
Perfect.
And I stitched the pineapple in the middle of it.
Awesome.
So you ask yourself, why would I not just do the pineapple first and then come back? Any guesses, Ashley?
No, I don't know.
No? Okay, well, you're going to have to hold on because I got to change my thread.
Okay. Suspense.
Suspense. Oh, waiting for chapter 2. Okay, we're going to put our light brown thread on here. And again, we're going to thread it up.
Notice the machine will also stitch slower on these because it has to move so far.
It's true, and part of that is so I'm going to go ahead and put this on over here on the speed control. Even though it says it's at 1,050 stitches, which is the fastest it can go, it's not stitching that fast.
Yeah.
It must slow down to make those long stitches, so it really doesn't matter what you tell it it's going to do. It's going to do what it can.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get that one started.
Perfect.
All right, so back to, now we're back.
Chapter two.
Where was I? What did I say last?
Why did we do the pineapple last and not
yes,
first?
Thank you. I was like, I have to remember what I said. Being that these stitches are so long, do you see how I can kind of get my fingernail underneath some of these? I don't want to run the
You don't want your
risk.
foot to get caught.
as this is moving around that my foot might snag on these.
Yeah.
So I want those long stitches to be the last thing that I do.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Right. And I'll tell you how I know that. We've talked about this before, right? That you know that something, how not to do something when you've screwed it up before. I did this back when long stitches came out on the Solaris, and that sunflower, it's also on this machine. The sunflower that's in there, I really loved that sunflower, and I wanted it to be bigger and better. And so I also did the couching stitches, and I made it look like, I used the letter C and just kept moving it all the way around and made it look like an even bigger sunflower.
Got it.
Hold on, because I got to change my thread. Okay.
It's like when a commercial comes on TV.
Right, right. Put this one on. Thread that one up. Isn't it turning out super cute? Look at that. It just kind of looks like a spider's kind of drunk on the fabric, right? Pretty cute.
So like when Picture Play stitching out,
so
there's
like I said,
no
it
rhyme
had
or reason.
the couching stitches all the way around it, and I did the sunflower first, and then I did the couching. And when you do couching, another hard lesson was I should have made it so that it went around in order.
Yes.
So when I planted them on there, I did like the top and the bottom, the right and the left, and then I did all the ones in between. So when it stitched it, it went in the order I put them on there. So it was like top, bottom, right, left, over, down, up, over. And it had to go across that sunflower 42 times or something like that. And it kept kind of catching a little bit. So in retrospect, what I should have done was, one, put my couching in order, do it first, and then came back and put the sunflower in the middle of it, because then the long stitches don't stand that chance of getting snagged up in the middle of all of this.
That makes sense.
So live and learn kind of things.
Yep.
But it's even still, if I wanted to do something like this, and maybe I was doing it where I needed a name on it, I could easily come down here and put a name underneath it, because the chances that's going to snag is not so much. I've seen these done on canvas, where like you wrapped it on a canvas frame, so it's a nice art piece. I've seen them done on like a leather bag, you know, like the thin leather purses. Just a nice way to add your own unique touch to that. They're just a really unique and different way to do it. You know, you don't ever think about stitches being able to be really long stitches, but it has the ability to do that in here. So we'll let that finish up, and while it's still sewing, we're going to talk about a couple of other things.
Okay.
One would be that using variegated thread,
yeah, I can
might
see on
also be a really good option.
On both of these, it looks like you did that. Or no, on the pineapple for sure.
Actually, that's not variegated.
Is it
thread.
not? It has you
just-
do different colors
it
in these
has
different
you do
places?
different colors, but just think how cool that would
Wow.
have been if it had been variegated. But let me show you some of the options we have in variegated thread. Some of them are just like, you know, monochrome, kind of all blues, all greens. This one's kind of red, white, and blue. But variegated thread is another option of a really fun way to add texture and interest to your stitching. So I'll put those back over here. And then the other thing is I'm using a really good cutaway stabilizer on here. I want something to be nice and strong as it's doing these long stitches. So that's a really good point to make. I brought some cutaway over here so that you'll see the wonderful cutaway stabilizer.
Perfect.
It's definitely one of my favorites. It's a good go-to. And of course, just having any kind of good embroidery thread. This one happens to be the rayon thread. It's that super shiny, nice thread. A lot of things like this are going to be an art piece. And a lot of people are like, well, why would you use a rayon thread instead of a polyester thread? Rayon's not as color fast as polyester. So if you're doing something that you know is not going to get washed, like something you're going to hang on the wall, that vibrant color and that nice rich shine, you're going to get more of that out of a rayon.
Got it.
So we have it finished over here, Ashley.
Perfect.
Let me get that off of the frame. And you can see
Oh my word.
how cute it is. Doesn't it look like a little bunny rabbit just looking up at the moon or the stars?
He's so sweet.
And let me show you the back side of it just so you can kind of see what that looks like.
It is kind
But
of
it's
like
a
little
really
spider.
fun way to be creative. So if you haven't tried long stitches, I mean, that one took all of 6 minutes. Some of them take a little bit longer, but what a fun little project this is. I'm just in love with the long stitches, in love with it. So I think what we should do is have a few things be on sale this week.
Absolutely.
So why don't we have these wonderful variegated threads?
Mhm.
And how about if we put cutaway stabilizer? Those are a couple of things that we use today.
There we go.
And we're going to have those be, let's go big. Why don't we make those be 30% off this week?
Ooh,
So
I like it.
variegated threads and cutaway stabilizer are 30% off this week. I
Okay.
love having special deals. And
Absolutely.
we're going to do a giveaway. And I was just talking about how wonderful it is to have nice, bright, shiny rayon thread. Why don't we give away one of these?
Absolutely.
So this is an 18 pack of all of your basic colors of thread. You can never have too many spools of thread.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
And how do we do that?
We have to
like,
share,
or
comment.
And when you like, share, or comment by Thursday at 5 p.m., you might be the lucky winner to get an 18 pack of Madeira rayon thread.
Perfect.
So it was a really brief one today. We've got kids camp going on this week, so it's just been kind of a crazy busy kind of day. But we are so glad you joined us. Try out those long stitches. And hey, if you don't have a machine that can do long stitches like this, come see us and we can help you get traded up to a Solaris, a pre-owned Solaris, or a Radiance, and you too will be able to make these beautiful long stitch designs.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again next week on New at 2.
Bye.